Hi there. My name is Sam Russell, and I'm the Head of Product and Interaction Design at the National College of Art and Design in Dublin. So if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're interested in either product design or interaction design, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those two degrees. They happen in the same department, and for a lot of the time you're studying together, but you're working towards very different degrees and ultimately very different job fields. So I'm going to talk about how we work in general, and then talk about each of the degrees, the BA product and the BA interaction design. And then at the end, there'll be some information in terms of course codes, a portfolio, and how you can find out more about the two courses. Okay, so so what will I experience if I do either the BA product or the BA interaction design? Well, if you do the BA product design degree, it can either be a 3 or a 4-year degree. Increasingly, our students choose the 4-year option. So year one, you have a first half, which is a common art and design experience. And then you go into the School of Design, and then towards the end of first year, you can finalize for either product design or interaction design. If you're doing product design, year two is all about your core skills. So we work on real world project briefs, giving you core skills in your discipline of product design. And then if you choose the Studio Plus year, you can either do a work placement, which will arrange for you in industry. You can study abroad. You can do the bureau, where you get to do real life, real world projects with clients, but under the supervision of NCAD industry experienced tutors. Or you can spend a semester in the UCD School of Engineering, working on more technical skills in relation to product design. Now then, of course, your final year is solely focused on your product design final two projects. Similarly, if you do interaction design, you have a 3 or a 4-year option, and the structure is largely the same. So you can see the common art and design experience leading towards interaction design at the end of first year. And then in year two, you learn all your interaction design core skills. For Studio Plus, we have a number of excellent work placement links with really large companies. It's great work opportunities in interaction design at the moment. You can study abroad through Erasmus or do the bureau, and then in final year you can focus on 2 specific projects. You'll see in the background I'm giving examples of different student work. So each of these is a student project that was conducted as part of their degree. So you can see this is a year 2 project, a user interface design project, an area user interface design, where there are huge job opportunities in Ireland at the moment. So in general, what does year 1 product design look like? You're going to be interacting with other designers, which is one of the most exciting things about being in an art and design college. We make sure you have really good networks across other designers who ultimately, when you graduate, you'll be working with or interacting with as part of the Irish or national design community. There's a shared learning between product and interaction design because some of the fundamentals are the same. And we recognize that some of the things you need to know to become a product designer are similar to becoming an interaction designer. This collaboration is really important and continues right throughout the degree. So it's not just in the first year that you work with other designers, but there are opportunities throughout the degree to do so. And that's quite unique in the context of a product or interaction design course in Ireland. As you move into year 2, you start to specialize in your chosen degree. So you can see in the background here an augmented reality trophy, which was designed by Diarmuid Farrell. This trophy was an award, an international award, but the trophy was really interesting about it was when you move your phone over the trophy, it shows an augmented reality piece. And I show it as an example of a design that's somewhere between product and interaction design. It has a form and a physical appearance and is designed as a product, but it also has a digital element. So like I said, in year 2, you're learning your key technical skills through a range of studio projects. We focus on studio-based learning, which means that most of your learning is connected to these larger studio projects, which are grounded in real-world briefs. In the Studio Plus year, you can do an industry placement, and that can be in Ireland or it can be internationally. We have links in Ireland and beyond. You can study abroad. I'll talk to you in a second about the Erasmus opportunities. We have a huge network of Erasmus colleges that you can potentially study in. And then the Design Bureau is where you study on live projects within NCAD. And finally, for the product design students, there's the UCD Design Engineering Experience, which if you're a really technically orientated designer, if you want to get really good at CAD or you want to get really good at specifying for manufacture, this is the option for you. So Studio Plus Year is all about working in real world design environments, and we support you to do that as part of the degree. So in that sense, here are some of the internships that our product design students have done, and they range from medical device design companies to interior design companies to working on technological research in other universities. So there's all sorts of opportunities for you as a product designer in terms of getting a work placement, and equally so for an interaction designer. So you can see here some bigger names that you will recognize, no doubt. Our students have worked with these companies and collaborated with them as either internships or as part of the Bureau. And these companies are obviously very large companies and well equipped to support you as you graduate and progress into employment. You can see here just a small selection of the European colleges that you can travel to. And they are the premier colleges in Europe. We are very fortunate as the National College of Art and Design to have secured, going back years, links with many of the best art and design colleges across Europe and beyond. So as a student in product design or interaction design, you really have the pick of, for experiencing other high-end design education in Europe. And you can see floating out in the Atlantic there's Rhode Island School of Design, again, one of the within the top 10 schools of design globally. So really some great options there. And as I said, if you're into technical product design, this is for the product designers, you can go to the UCD School of Engineering and expand your design engineering skills, particularly with a focus on CAD, materials, manufacture, and presentation. You can see in the background there's a design for a front fork of an air-powered motorbike. Finally here then, we encourage you to enter international design competitions, and our students regularly top international design competitions with a whole series of wins every year. We support you to do a self-directed studio project, which is of your own choosing and is a really amazing opportunity to spend 5 or 6 months really just looking at a project that is of your own personal interest. And of course, you get to write a design thesis. We get to start to talk about and write about your own opinions in relation to design. So how do we design in the product design department and in interaction? Well, fundamentally, we're about human-centered research. We want to understand how people live and then respond with good designs which can improve people's lives. So we're all about figuring out patterns of human behavior. And we do that in a very simple and basic way, in the sense that we equip you as a student with a set of tools to go out into the real world and to try and learn from watching people's behavior, from talking to them, or from setting up tests to understand how somebody might interact with something. So this here is a very basic and rough looking vending machine. Inside it is a person. So if you tap on one of the doors, you get handed out an object. And as part of that, we're understanding which option people might choose. This was probably produced in about an hour and tested on Thomas Street. But it's really central to our ethos in terms of we want to actually get you as students out into the real world to understand how people behave. And that leads into a whole series of idea generation, whether it's looking at screen-based devices here, so digital product design or interaction design, or whether you're moving into physical product design as a product designer. So here you can see early stage sketches for a VR controller. We like to model make, so you can see here somebody laying out what's called a paper prototype. It looks really basic, doesn't it? But what it's doing is helping us understand, as a user interface designer, where buttons may go, how somebody might interact with a website or a digital platform that you've designed, in this case, a purchasing screen for a Leap card. As product designers, making is also central to how we operate. So you can see here the development process from at the very top left, a blue foam model, through to the bottom right, a very highly finished presentation model of the VR controller that you saw sketched earlier on. And then we present our work. So if you're an interaction designer, we expect you to develop apps that you can interact with, or digital platforms that you can interact with and are highly polished. And this high level of finish also carries through to product design, where we expect you to be able to present your work to an industry level. And this is crucial, really, in the sense that when you emerge from either of these two degrees, you have an online portfolio of work that sees you job ready or ready to progress to further study. And we have exceptionally high levels of employment, particularly for our graduates, particularly for our interaction designers. And we're particularly proud of that. So I'm going to talk through first about product design, the degree in particular, and then about interaction design. So product design is really the designing and making of new physical objects and experiences. So we're interested in physical form, how we can give form to an object, but in response to a human need or an environmental need. So we cover areas such as design for play. This is the AR/VR controller that we saw earlier on. We're interested in design for sustainability. As designers, we have a responsibility to make sure that the things we design don't have a negative environmental impact. So this project is all about reducing the amount of materials. It's a weighing scales made from one single sheet of plastic, so that when it does come to the end of its life, it is easily recyclable and doesn't go to landfill. Here's a project looking at design for health. This is a playful medical device design project where we're looking at helping children who have been tube fed for their early years transition to feeding and eating normally. So this is actually a tongue exercise device. And this project won a huge amount of awards and was really successful, but is a lovely example of seeing a playful side and a playful aesthetic to medical device. We're very interested in new materials. So how, as a product designer, can you explore with new materials and create new products from that? So these tiles are made from recycled sea plastic. So our students went to Killiney Beach and gathered sea plastic and waste sea plastic and melted and pressed it into a series of tiles that you see here. And finally, just to sum up, I suppose, for product design, we're concerned really with design for the real world. There's no fiction here in our products. We respond to real human need. We may speculate where that may go, and we may look to future technology, but ultimately we're responding to human need or societal need or environmental need. And that, for me, is the exciting thing about product or interaction design, is that we're in the business of making impact as designers and having a positive impact. So this project is about reducing waste when patients are transferred from an ambulance to an A&E. Generally, the medical equipment that's with them in the ambulance doesn't transfer to the A&E, so they have to have a whole new set of medical equipment. This simple design makes sure that some of the key bits of medical equipment, so you can see the canvas PPP there, that's the design piece, it's a fabric piece, that helps make sure that the equipment transfers from the ambulance to the hospital. These two students, Moira and Hannah, won a series of awards across product and graphic design. So they won the James Dyson National Award, they won the Royal Society of Art Student Design Award, and they even won a School of Communication Arts Scholarship in London. So this is a project that has a real world impact. We're exploring how that can be commercialized, but it's just a really good example of seeing the type of areas that our students may work on. If you're in interaction design, you're more in the business of designing digital interactions, whether that's for an app, a website, product, service, or user experience. So as you know, anything we use today tends to have a digital facet to it, a digital side to it, whether it's part of the thing that you're using or whether it's just a space for you to learn more about the object that you're interacting with or learn more about the service that you're interacting with. The most kind of, I suppose, well-known facet of interaction design is user interface design, where we're looking at the design of the screen interaction. And that's probably user interface and user experience, so UX and UI, where the majority of jobs lie in Ireland in relation to interaction design. And because this area is absolutely huge at the moment, it's pretty much the highest paying design discipline at the moment, and is also probably, I would say, the highest levels of employment for graduates. So it's a really good area to be in and a really growing area to be in. But we're interested also as part of that in terms of physical computing as an interaction designer. So when I say physical computing, I mean being able to use small microcomputers like a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino to test and validate your ideas. So this was a very simple project, which was you had to, you can see, put in coin and blow, and it was testing your breath. And it would either give you a mint and say your breath was stinky, or it would give you your money back and say you're grand, carry on. But it was a trick. It wasn't really processing that, but it was using physical computing to test an interaction and to do that in an entertaining way. So we're interested in where technology interacts with products and experiences, and as an interaction designer you get to explore that. So you're not just looking at the design of screens, you could be looking at the design of physical objects and how technology links to that. So this is a coat that has keys into the mobile phone network, and so tracks where you are, and it's to do with the idea of engaging with the real world rather than sticking your head in a phone screen as you wander through the city. As you go to places of interest, places of cultural interest, historical interest, the coat vibrates slightly and then can inflate. So it will really point out to you in a very clear way that you're near something interesting. So it's a bit like a treasure hunt, a bit like a cultural treasure hunt. Probably not something that you would actually use, more an indication of, I suppose, a proposal, a speculative proposal as to how you could create a garment that would help people better engage with the real world rather than keeping their face in the screen for the day. So I suppose as an ethos of the course, we are very much for interaction design, very much catered around equipping you with the skills to enter industry. So as I said, UX, so user experience, and UI, user interface designers, are in high demand nationally and internationally. And those roles are very well paid, and we equip you with the skills to get into those roles. So a large number of our graduates from this year's degree have already secured roles in whether that's multinational companies working in Ireland or local consultancies. But we're also future facing. So we're not just interested in, well, what are the roles that are available at the moment or what technology is available at the moment, but we're interested in future facing interactions. So how could augmented reality, as in the case here you see for a year 2 project, how could augmented reality play a part in our day-to-day experience? So you can see all sorts of cues here, visual cues for somebody in terms of navigating, perhaps in terms of advertisement, or just in general in terms of experiencing a physical environment. So we cater for the presence in terms of equipping our students in interaction design with key skills to enter industry, but we're also future facing. What do our graduates do? Well, a whole pile of different things. Our graduates work in consultancy, they work as designer makers, they work in furniture design, automotive design. You can see in the image in the center, they work in augmented reality, virtual reality. They're looking at user interface or user experience design for really large companies, whether that's Google, Facebook, SAP, IBM. So our graduates work across a whole range of industry. And I suppose that's the point, in the sense that when you study interaction or product design at NCAD, you have an experience that is very strongly linked to industry and the real world, but is also linked to the art and design community. And you're studying in a small college in the center of Dublin, which is richly connected to the city itself. So you're not removed from the real world. And all our project content links to that and pushes you to question people's experiences, understand people's experiences, and create new design responses to that. If you want to learn more about what our students do, rather than just listening to me, go to either our NCAD product design Instagram, where you can see all the most recent projects showcased, or our NCAD interaction design Instagram. That's really the best place to find out more about what it is our students do and to get a really kind of current sense of what the most recent projects were. So all our students who graduated this year did an online showcase. So you can see their work at ncad.works, or you can see their individual work here at these two Instagram pages. So go and check it out. You'll see loads of really exciting work. And if you are interested in either a BA interaction or a BA product design, well, this is the place to learn more. You're obviously going to have to do a portfolio to get into these courses. So if you want to learn more about the portfolio, just Google portfolio at NCAD and you'll get here. And we've got loads of material in terms of showing you how to tackle the portfolio. And if you still don't feel you fully understand it, get in touch with me. My email is just at the bottom. I will always get back to you, and I'm very happy to talk to any applicant who's interested in studying product and interaction design. I think we're a small department and we're all really incredibly passionate about these two subjects. We see the chance for wonderful impact as designers. It excites us. We're all industry experienced designers and academics. It excites us in terms of how you may practice as a designer and what impact you may have in the future as a product or interaction designer from your studies at NCAD. So get in touch. You can see the program codes there. You can apply for either product design directly, so that gets you straight into product design, interaction equally straight into interaction, or common entry if you want to go into a general first year experience and have choice to move more between the other disciplines, or maybe your mind's not made up. But if you really want to go straight into either course, choose the top two codes. If you want to hedge your bets, pick them both. You may get one or the other. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. It's been very nice to present to you, and I look forward to hearing from anyone who's interested in studying either the BA product or the BA interaction at NCAD. Thank you.